Today I'm making a simple, charming dress for my mini doll, Mermaid doll, and Christmas elves, a design anyone can sew. I want you to have this pattern as a gift because it's one of my favorites, and it fits all our mini dolls. When you join our newsletter or Facebook group, you'll get more than just a link. You'll be part of my sewing circle with access to special tips, ideas, and extras I share only with our community. Before we begin, let's gather our tools. Fabric scissors, pinking shears, my trusty hemostats, a heat erasable pen, and a few extra fine pins. For the closure, choose what you prefer, sew-on snaps or Velcro. I'll be using soft quilting cotton. Light fabrics work best, and any print or color will do. Thick fabrics? Best left for another project. They're tricky to turn. And yes, I sew everything on my heavy-duty Singer sewing machine. To start, we need a piece of fabric about 12 by 6 inches. With your free pattern in hand, downloaded from my newsletter or the Stella Pattern Studio space, print and cut it right along the lines. Fold your fabric with right sides together. Draw the outlines for the bodice and skirt. Cut the skirt only, leaving the bodice still drawn on the fabric. We'll sew that part directly on the lines. Use a short stitch, sew slowly, and backstitch at the start and end. A shorter stitch length will help you navigate tight curves more accurately and give you a cleaner finish when you turn the pieces later. When sewing small pieces like this method makes the process much easier. On the curves, go one stitch at a time for better precision. Leave the bottom edge open. The bottom opening already has the seam allowance included, so cut directly on the line there. For the rest, trim to about a 1/8 inch seam allowance. If you're using regular scissors, make small clips along the curves to help the piece turn more easily. Just be careful not to cut through the stitching. If you have pinking shears, they'll speed up the cutting process. Both methods work equally well. Turn the bodice right side out. My hemostats make quick work of this, but a straw and chopstick will work just as well. Carefully push out all the edges with the tip of a hemostat or a chopstick. Then gently roll the seams between your fingers so they sit flat and keep a smooth shape. Press everything flat, cut the fold line on the pattern and transfer it to the bodice. Fold the lower edge of the bodice to the inside along that line and press it in place. For the skirt, first cut along the line on the paper pattern that shows how far the skirt will be inserted into the bodice. It will guide you when attaching the skirt later. Finish the bottom edge with a neat zigzag stitch to prevent fraying. Then fold it up once. As you stitch the hem, gently guide the fabric with your hands, keeping the fold even and smooth. To add gentle fullness, set your machine to the longest stitch length and sew 2 parallel lines close to the top edge. Hold both bobbin threads and pull gently, working from each side toward the middle, until the gathers are even and the skirt matches the exact width of the bodice. Slip the gathered skirt into the fold, up to the line you marked on the skirt. First, align the edges, then the center. Pin it securely. I use fine pins and sew right over them, but go carefully. If you're not comfortable sewing over pins, remove them as you approach. Set your machine back to a regular stitch length and sew a neat edge stitch to attach the bodice to the skirt. Once sewn, check the back edge, and if any part is missed, stitch again. We're almost finished. Now we just need to sew the shoulders, which we'll do by hand using a ladder stitch. Thread a needle with double thread and tie a small knot. Start about 1 inch away from where you want the shoulder seam to begin. Pull the thread just enough so the knot pops through the first layer of fabric. Join the front and back shoulders on both sides with the ladder stitch. Once you've finished the ladder stitch, pull the thread to close the 2 shoulder seams neatly. Tie a secure knot, then hide the thread by inserting the needle close to the knot and running it between the fabric layers before trimming it. Add your chosen closure to the front. This could be a sew-on snap, Velcro, or whatever you have on hand. Choose something that's secure, but also easy for little hands to use. And don't be afraid to add a decorative touch, like a tiny button, to make it extra special. And that's it! Your doll's new dress is ready. Sign up for my newsletter to get the free pattern as a gift. All of my social links are below. Please tag me so I can see your beautiful creation. You'll also find links to the mini doll, Mermaid doll, and Christmas elves in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.